from 25 years ago, when everything coming out was a banger. Remember how it felt to make great games. Remember how it felt to be alive in the industry. Let me tell you about feeling alive in the industry. I remember, and I really feel like doing this content creation game, I really feel like I missed the period I would have been great in. I feel like that 2003 to 2010 period of your X-Plays, your GeForce stuff, your game trailers. I mean, all these other great outlets that were doing great things with not just game reporting, but opinion pieces, articles, writing articles on this or that. I feel like I missed my moment, because I feel like I should have been there during that time, because I miss the passion, the fun, the straight up just fucking wackiness that people were bringing. That energy back then, man, that was lightning in a bottle, dude. That was I think about that time so fondly, and I think about the passion I saw from the people that were on the floor at E3, that were in the studios with the cool little backdrops and stuff and talking about games. That shit, I mean, there were scripts, but it didn't feel scripted. It didn't feel like people reading off a prompter. It didn't feel like everybody just parroting the same messages about games and stuff. Everybody had their opinions, whether you hated them or not, and everybody was passionate and speaking from the heart about their favorite industry. And this is before video games were beating out Hollywood. This is when Hollywood was still kicking video games' ass, the video game industry's ass. But they were still passionate, fired up, and just really championing the cause, because they knew the future was the gaming industry. This is the storytelling medium. It is. It just is. I mean, other people are finding this out. People who never thought they'd be gamers are gamers now, whether they admit it to people or not. They go home, they pop in a game, they play a couple hours, go to bed, get up, go to their 9 to 5, do the same thing every day. They're not online in the forums talking shit and being snarky. That they're just playing their games, enjoying them, and going to bed and waiting for the next trailers to come out for the stuff they love. They're not online participants in the madness, but they love the industry. I wish we could get back to a place, or get to a place in the gaming industry just where people could voice their opinions and people didn't feel like they needed everybody to agree with them. That they needed everybody to agree with them and back their opinions, or they're just wrong. I wish we could get back to a point in the gaming industry, and this is actually choking the industry right now and fandom as a whole. If you ain't got something nice to say, just don't say nothing at all. You can give constructive criticism, but bashing people for something, if you don't like a thing, maybe just turn it off. Maybe just move on. Maybe just walk away. Maybe just go enjoy something and participate in the community that you do enjoy. I don't know. I want to get back to a time when you think about the gaming industry, you don't think about all the negative shit. You just think about the love, the passion, and the heart that people had when they were championing the PS2 stuff coming out. And I remember the PS3, Xbox 360 era was not a great era, but I remember the lead up to that era beginning, and people were fired up around the clock. You know, like your G4s, your other online media that were talking about game stuff and everything. They were just midnight releases, people fired up, people camping out, people hanging out having a great time, the camaraderie, people dressed up as their favorite characters in line, people going out and getting pizza or Chinese food, and okay, we're shutting the restaurant down, we're going to go get in line at GameStop for our midnight release for this new system, for this new game. It's a party. We're throwing in, we're going in, we're throwing down. It's going to be a great time. And the pictures and videos of people getting their stuff at midnight and leaving because you knew they were going to be up till the sun came up playing that new fucking game, man. That's what I'm talking about. I want the industry to get back to that. No more of this corporate bullshit, business people suits, ties, ruining this industry, firing developers. I want to get back to the fucking midnight releases, the passion, the people enjoying this stuff. The reason most of these people are developing games now, these people that are out here losing jobs and getting shit on online for their beliefs and stuff like that, fuck all that, man. I want to get back to hugging a perfect stranger in line. It's like, oh my god, you got the statue. Shit, I didn't have enough money for that, but go enjoy that, man. Have a great time. And being full on Chinese food and beer because I was trying to stay up to get in line at this midnight release so I could go home and play the newest Final Fantasy, the newest Resident Evil, the newest Assassin's Creed till the sun fucking comes up. That's what I want to get back to. That's what I want to get back to. And it is just like, I don't know, man. I feel like the soul has been stripped away from this industry. I still love it. I still come on here and talk about it. But there are nights when I'm just like, I feel the passion for a thing. I feel the hype for a thing. I feel excited for a thing that's happening or coming. But there always just feels like there's just something missing. Like there's a missing element that's just not there. And if you weren't there for it, unfortunately, I feel like you'll never feel that. You know what I mean? Being there, shoulder to shoulder, with real people. And yeah, there were plenty of people who didn't like to talk in line. I was the joker in line who was always like hype and talking to people and getting people who wouldn't normally talk to a stranger to talk to a stranger. Like, hey, hell yeah. Hey, hell yeah, man. Hey, hell yeah. You know, just the real socially awkward person and get them to come out of their shell. I made so many friends at those things. You know, exchange, like, hey man, yeah, you get to talking to people, you're sitting in line with somebody for 30 minutes, you're exchanging phone numbers, you're talking. I'm still friends to this day with people that I met in line at a GameStop waiting for a midnight release. And then it became the same kind of crew. Like every 3 or 4 months, you'd see people at the same restaurant. All night of games coming out. You walk by and you go, because you knew they were going next door to the GameStop at midnight. It was like unspoken thing with people. I remember walking by people at the China Buffet in Lexington next to the GameStop. I would see them. I'd be like, I see you. And this is not when anybody knew who I was. I didn't have a YouTube channel. I wasn't doing anything like that. You know, I wasn't. It was just a camaraderie. It was a level of community, physical in-person community that I hate that a lot of people will never get to experience. And I feel like that is a small, it's not a small piece, it is a large piece of the gaming experience we just don't have anymore. And thinking back about that era of, like, you know, just the outlets that would cover gaming and stuff, you could see the passion, you could see the fandom in the writing. It wasn't just like, well, these specs aren't up to this and it doesn't run at this frame rate. And I'm like, who gives a fuck? Is it fun? Who gives a fuck? Is the game fun? Tell me, is it fun? I don't give a shit about your specs. But it's a lot of this writing now just feels so soulless. There's a lot of content out there that's just soulless, cookie cutter, rinse, wash, repeat bullshit. And I miss the days of people being fired up. Not in a negative way, in a passionate, excited, hype-filled way. You know, I think about guys like Easy Allies. They have a guy, if you don't know who that is, they have a guy named Huber, who he is just the most passionate, just good-willed, just chief of a dude for this industry. I love him. They had another guy named Kyle Bossman who I used to love on that show. And there have been other people in the past that were just like, man, where did it all go? I know we've all gotten older, gotten families, got new responsibilities and stuff like that, but look, my passion has not waned. And you all know everything I've got going on. I've got like a workhorse load of shit happening. I'm been starting a production company, animation. I'm doing my own animation right now. I'm meeting with people, doing deals, signing contracts, getting things done, acquiring talent. We're still working a full-time job raising a son with my wife. We got mortgage, all this other stuff, but I still have a passion, a positive passion and hype for this industry. And I just want to see it come back to life. And so whenever you all see my content and you see me talking about, like, you know, I'll say things like, so-and-so is a great ambassador for gaming. Oh, they're a great ambassador for gaming. That's what I'm talking about. When I see Jeff Keighley on stage, yeah, I talk about the business of gaming a lot. I talk about the business of, like, you know, his Game Awards Inc. company and all that kind of stuff and what they're doing and what they're trying to do, because I do have a marketing and business background. But I do see the passion and the love in that guy. I do. But and then I watch all these other, like, people who used to be around back in the day that reported on things and did things and everything. They still talk about it from time to time, and I see it. Like, if you have the ability to read people and to read between the lines, and you can look at a person and look into their eyes and see how they're feeling about a thing. You can see when people are full of shit, and you can see when people are full of passion. And I vibe with those people who are full of passion. I do. And when they let that spill out and you see that, man, that is infectious as hell. That is infectious as hell. And I just want the industry to get back to that. There's so much power in that, man. There's so much positive power in that. And something we could all use these days is a little more positive power. And the gaming industry could do that. We nerds, that is what we're supposed to be the harbingers of positivity and hype. We're supposed to be the caretakers of that. We are the stewards of that. We ooze and omit that. That is our job. That is why we are so passionate about the things we love. We're supposed to show that to people. I want to get back to that. I want the industry to get back to that. And I hope in some small way, like here on this channel, I can do that for people. So that's why I'm so passionate about building this community and being on here, trying to be on here daily with content or a live stream or something like that, because I just, you know, when I speak critically about things, it's because I'm worried. I want it to do good, and I'm worried for this or that. It might not. You know, I have had the pleasure and the unique opportunity to talk to certain people who make games and give my opinion, and whether or not they remember me in 2 days or take to heart something I said, or maybe I just hope that my honesty lands with people, you know, and that's what I try to do. But at the end of the day, I mean, I'm honest about things. I'm very honest about my feelings and impressions, but it's always because I'm full of love for the thing I'm talking about. I'm full of love for Final Fantasy. I'm full of love for Resident Evil and the gaming industry in general. And that's why I'm very honest about things sometimes. Nothing but love, though, all the time. So, anyway, I felt passionate about needing to get that off my chest. I don't know, that came out of nowhere. I apologize. I don't apologize because I guess it needed to be said. But I just, you know, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. There is still so much untapped potential in this industry and in this storytelling medium that I think we have yet to see what it could be. But if we could get the business bullshit out of the way, figure out a way to get these things funded and made the right way, these games and everything else, all these companies that are going under, man, we gotta find a way to fix this stuff. These companies, they got to find a way to fix that stuff. Make sure these people still have jobs. These artists, these creators, these visionaries have jobs. They can push the medium into something else. I hope. And I hope here on this channel and in this community that we are all creating together, that we can have a voice in bringing that hype level up and bringing that excitement and that energy for games up. That's why I think guys like Max Dude and other people like him, I think that's why people gravitate toward him, because they see that passion, they see that love. That's contagious, man. That's contagious as hell. And that's the closest thing we have these days to what I was talking about having back in the day. That's really the closest thing we have to it these days. And, you know, I hope in some small way I can add to that. But anyway, I am going to grab me a drink because I am now parched after my tirade. I'll come back. We'll talk a little Final Fantasy stuff, remake saga and whatnot, and then we'll get back to Tales of Xillia. So, but we'll be back in just a moment.